The doors of your car will close automatically. Please keep your head and arms inside and remain seated at all times. And please, no smoking. Thank you.
Matterhorn Matt presents Matterhorn Mondays.
Hey there, Mountaineers! Welcome to episode 46 of Matterhorn Mondays. I'm your host, Matterhorn Matt.
And I'm Alex the Historian.
And we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's going to be a real great one. I'm glad to be back. For those of you that don't know, I was in Disneyland almost all this past week. I was out of town. I just got back, actually, let's see, like 3 hours before I recorded. I'm recording right now, so yeah. Just wanted to point that out. Before we get into any of the topics or anything, I just wanted to go over what happened at the meetup. We're gonna sort of Alex and I are gonna tell our tales of how awesome the meetup was. So many people showed up. I believe 9 or 10 people showed up, including Alex, LMG Vids, and I. Disneyland.
No, I counted 10 people plus LMG Vids, Matt, and me.
Really? Okay, so
yeah,
13, including us. That is way more than we expected. Alex and I expected like 5 to like 10 people, but yeah. Thank you all to everyone who's in the chat who showed up. Thank you all to everyone who's watching who showed up. Andrew was there. Mateo was there. Yeah. I have some of the pictures that we took. I thought might as well. That's not the right screen. I thought might as well share. Here's the selfie that Alex and I took. Look at this. This is awesome. It was awesome meeting you guys. Like, I've never done anything like this before. And it was like one of the coolest things. Oh, Michael Eisner is here. Hey, what's up? What's up, Michael? How you doing, buddy? I wonder who that is. That's probably Jake or someone, but hello, Eisner. Someone called, he says. Oh my gosh. Mateo says it was awesome. But yeah. Alex and I, there's a selfie of us. LMG Vids, Chris with a K. Yeah. And I think a lot of you don't know what LMG Vids looks like. He does have a vlog channel that he does vlogs on. That's where I first found out what he looks like. Link will be in the description. I don't have the link on me right now, but it'll be in the description once this video goes live. You know I had to do it to him, says Shaden. And then there's Jeremy and I, the writer of the Historyland episodes. Really awesome meeting him. He could only stay for a couple minutes because he was there with his family. And then here's the big group picture with all of us. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. All those.
Plus my friends Lynette and Steve.
That's right. Lynette and Steve were there. They weren't there for this picture, but I felt bad. This is the picture where, oh God, I can't remember his name. He's like scratching his face right here. It was his birthday that day, so he had a birthday pin on. But yeah, all of you guys, it was awesome. Really awesome meeting you guys. Alex, do you want to tell the people what it was like to meet all these amazing people at the meetup?
It was so cool. I mean, it was really fun. You know, it's like I finally got to be around a bunch of other people that also love Disneyland, and it was just like, you know, this really great experience to see people that, you know, that I've only talked to, you know, on the Discord or the chat on the Matterhorn Mondays. So it's been really cool to meet them. I got to sign an autograph of mine, so that was kind of cool. That's the first time I've ever signed an autograph as Alex the Historian. So that was really neat. And then like what we did was really fun. Like after we took pictures and stuff like that, we went to lunch and I got this really amazing corn dog. Totally beats out the corn dog in Disneyland. It was okay, for those of you that like food, it was a panko encrusted corn dog with a sweet and sour sauce. It was amazing. So Matt, what was your reaction to meeting me?
To meeting you, well, first of all, before I was going to the meetup, I was actually in Disneyland, in line for Pirates of the Caribbean. On the app, it said 5 minutes, and on the marquee, it didn't have like a wait time, so I figured, oh, it's only going to be 5 minutes. And this was like 30 minutes before I was supposed to get at the Grand Californian to meet Alex and everybody else, and I was like, oh, only 5 minutes. I'll just hop in, get on Pirates real quick, and then head down to the Grand Californian. But it ended up taking like 15 minutes just to get through half the queue. So I figured this is not worth it. I don't want to be late for my first ever meetup. That'd be kind of like, I guess, like rude, or like, I don't know what kind of words I'm looking for, but so Evil, yeah. So I got out of line, sprinted to the Grand Californian. I sat there, gosh, I was like really sweaty. I felt bad because I sped walk all the way to the Grand Californian, and I was like sweating so much. And then Alex popped up behind me, and it was like one of the greatest things ever, because Alex and I have been doing this podcast for 46 weeks. I believe 46 weeks. There might be a couple missing since we've taken breaks in between, but 46 episodes of this podcast Alex and I have done. That's almost a year's worth of podcasts. And then finally getting to meet him in person and like shaking his hand and getting to take a picture with him and actually talking to him in person was like one of the greatest things ever that I've ever done. Oh, and Kim Jong-un has showed up in the chat as well. Amazing. Welcome. Oh my gosh. This is going to be an interesting podcast, I can already tell. And then meeting all these other people, all you guys who showed up, it was really like one of the greatest experiences I've ever had, because I expected the meetup to last for like 30 minutes to like 45 minutes. We'll like talk for a bit, take some pictures, and like get some food. But we ended up meeting at around like 10:30, and it lasted until like 2:30 almost. So that was like 10, 11, 12. That's like 4 hours of us just sitting and talking Disney to each other. That's like the longest I've ever talked Disney with people in real life, because not a lot of my friends are like Disney nerds like all of us are. So it was a really awesome experience to actually talk Disney stuff and just to get to know all of you guys in person. I can't wait until the next time I visit so we can do this again, and then hopefully there will be even more people for us to meet and to talk Disney with.
I just remember walking into the Grand Californian, and I was like really nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I'm gonna meet all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking around, and I didn't notice the initial group of people sitting at first.
Yeah.
I was mainly looking for Matt, and so I looked, and they're sitting down on a chair staring at his phone is this lanky, skinny guy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Matt. So I decided to go right behind him and try to scare him or something. I forgot what I said, like, hey, what are you doing, or something like that. So that was fun. That was really fun. And then I'm meeting LMG Vids. I've been watching his videos for years, and it was so great to meet him and like to talk about how he films his videos and what he, you know, his thoughts on how he films them and what he's looking for when he films them. It's like really great, because it's like meeting like the people that you've always wanted to meet, you know. So it was fun. But you know what was really great was like, okay, so LMG Vids and Matt, after everybody was done eating, LMG Vids, Matt, and then what was the other guy's name? Oh gosh,
I have his name on my phone.
Mark.
I took a picture. Mark, yeah, that's
Mark.
it. His name was Mark.
Yeah. So the three of them went to Disneyland, and then it was just me and Mateo afterwards. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go get a Dole Whip at the hotel. Like, do you want to go with me? And, you know, we'll just, you know, because he had extra time left. So we did that. We went to the hotel, got Dole Whips, and I think that was his first Dole Whip. So that was really cool. And so we just kind of sat there talking about, you know, Disney and stuff like that, and then just ate Dole Whips. So that was a really fun day for me.
Yeah, like I said, I can't wait to do it again, to meet you people again, and then even more people will hopefully show up. And then after, like Alex said, LMG Vids and Mark and I went off to Disneyland. We got on Oh gosh. Oh yeah, and then LMG Vids explained why his channel is called LMG Vids in one of the live streams. If you guys want to look back on this channel, you'll see that. But we went into Disneyland. We hung out for like until like 7. Got on a whole bunch of rides, and it was just awesome to get to know him and his friend. I don't even know if he was his friend, Mark. If Mark was Chris's friend. But yeah, it was just awesome to get to know those two guys. Like Alex said, getting to know how LMG Vids filmed his videos. If you guys don't know, I'm like a huge photographer nerd, videographer nerd. And he was showing us his, I think he said $6,000 camera setup that he uses to record his ride-throughs. And it's like meeting, like, because we were talking about how we always look to him for ride-throughs because his are like always superior to other YouTubers who do ride-throughs. I can't remember their names right off the top of my head. I don't feel like saying their names either because I don't want them to get mad at me. But LMG Vids, if you guys aren't subscribed to him, definitely check out his channel. I'm sure at one point you guys have seen one of his videos, you just don't know it. But yeah, it was a really awesome experience getting to meet all of you and just going to Disneyland in general. Last year when I went, I wasn't really as much of a Disney nerd as I was this year. So it was awesome to go there and sort of experience new things that I hadn't experienced last year. I took so many pictures. I'm sure you guys have seen on my Instagram and on my Twitter all the pictures I've tweeted and all the pictures I've posted on Instagram. But yeah, Andrew's explaining why LMG Vids is called LMG Vids, but yeah, just awesome. Thank you all. Thank you to whoever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm at a loss for words right now. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Really meant a lot to us, and we hope you guys enjoyed those little buttons that we gave out. I still have a few extra, and I think Alex has a few extra. Still trying to decide what we're going to do with those. I might just give them away. I don't really want to sell them just because they're so tiny, and it really wouldn't be fair to have people pay like $1 for the pin, but then pay like $3 for shipping. So I'll figure something out.
Yeah, I sent 2 in the mail to some people that asked me.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably just end up doing that.
Of course, I joked that it was going to be $53 plus tax, but.
Bryce says, Matt, give it to us. We'll see. I'll do some sort of giveaway or something. I'll let you guys know on Twitter and on the Discord on what I decide. But there was one I was thinking on my ride home yesterday of what I could do for my 10K subscriber special, and I was thinking about it, and it was gonna be like the funniest thing ever. I was thinking to myself, this is gonna be hilarious. People will love this, and I'm trying to remember, but I can't remember. Because Andrew just said 15K subs and Matt goes to Disneyland and dresses up like Michael Eisner. I definitely do that. If you guys want me to do that, I literally have no shame. I'll do anything you guys want me to do in Disneyland, except at one point Sam asked me to yell subscribe to PewDiePie during a live stream while we were in line for Space Mountain, and my sister ended up screaming subscribe to PewDiePie, and then I did it again a couple days later in the live stream. But yeah, I can't remember what I was thinking of doing for my 10K subscriber special. It'll come up to me later. But Avery says yes, dress up as Eisner. Mateo says he was there for that live stream. But Second Star was supposed to show up. Very sad he couldn't make it. He messaged me later on saying he had pneumonia, or I think it was pneumonia, something like that. But yeah, he couldn't make it on Friday. Next time, hopefully, he will be able to... because we were all joking because we didn't know his name. We didn't know what he looked like. So we were all joking with each other, trying to figure out who was Second Star in the lobby of the Grand Canyon. Yeah, Mateo, that guy from Second Star, that's what Alex said in one of his videos. I remember at one point I said if I hit some amount of subscribers, I'd do voiceover, like all the voiceovers in Pirates of the Caribbean, of like me doing the voiceover. I feel like that'd be kind of funny, but... yeah, I'll figure that out once we get to that. But do I have the meetup footage? I do. It's on my camera. I have not imported it yet. I don't have an SD card reader on my new computer, so I have to import them to my laptop and then transfer them to my computer. But grilled cheese part 2.
Will it be one of your episodes of Adventureland?
I think so. Yeah, I was thinking of having it as a separate thing, but I figured I'll just have it all in one episode. I'll have that whole day in one episode, because I recorded like 3 days worth of, or I guess like 3 episodes worth of footage, because I recorded all 4 days actually that I was in the parks. I didn't film as much as I'd like to. I wanted to get a lot more B-roll of Disneyland itself. I got a whole bunch of California Adventure, but yeah, I'll figure all that out. Maybe within the next couple weeks. Next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have one of those episodes coming out. And then, of course, the footage that Alex sent, we'll have that coming out as well. Disney Bound is the entire park, dress up as a bee. And you guys are just trying to embarrass me in Disneyland, and I don't care. I'll do it. As long as it makes you guys laugh, as long as I laugh at it too, I will literally do anything. But anyways, again, thank you all to everybody who showed up. Meant the world to us. And we're going to go ahead and get into the actual podcast itself. This week in news. This week I still don't have a title for this segment, but the biggest story from when I was in the parks is James Gunn was fired from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise over his offensive tweets made back in 2010. We were going to talk about this as one of the topics on the live stream, but I figured we'll just have this as a little in the This Week in News part, and then we might talk about it later on at some point. But yeah, I don't really want to get into that. It's kind of controversial. We got a lot of, I guess not really backlash, but a lot of feedback. I guess feedback would be the right word. A lot of feedback on the Disney Wages video that we put out a couple weeks ago, or last week, and on the podcast as well. But I don't really mind all the negative stuff. It means that people are in the comments getting to discuss their opinions and all that stuff. And of course, if you say mean things to each other, you're gonna get the ban boot, because yeah, if you wanna say mean things to each other, take it somewhere else. But if you wanna have like actual comments in the description of one of my videos, feel free to go ahead. Yeah, Andrew says, what will happen to the Guardians franchise? The Guardians of the Galaxy movies were my favorite Marvel movies out of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is because of James Gunn. It is his story that he planned out from beginning to end. I don't think he's finished working on the script for Guardians 3, so we'll see what ends up happening with that. There's a lot of, I think there was a petition for him to get hired back by someone. I do have the links down in the description if you guys want to check that out. We're not going to be talking about it, but if you want to read for yourselves, links are in the description. At least they should be. Give me 1 second, let me put this down there. Oh gosh, I just messed all that up. There we go. Okay, now links are down in the description. And the second piece of news, what were you laughing at, Alex? I was trying to read the chat and I couldn't find what you were laughing at.
Just something the Disneyland collector said. It's like, we shall swing its thigh banneth hammer.
We will if you end up saying mean things to each other. But second piece of Disney news, Comcast has dropped out of the bidding war for Fox with Disney, so it looks like Disney is going to end up 100% buying out 21st Century Fox. I can't talk. It's been a long week. I'm very exhausted, but I think Comcast is actually just eyeing the Sky Network or one of those TV networks. So we'll see how that all turns out. You should call this News from the Peak. We'll see. I haven't found the perfect name yet, but if you guys want to suggest names for this segment, did I say 22nd Century Fox? If I did, I meant 21st Century Fox. I think I said 22nd. That's my bad. And
that's okay. Eventually, it'll be called 22nd Century.
That's true. That's true. Ay. Third piece of news: Bing Bong's Sweet Stuff shop has opened up in Pixar Pier. That was closed when I went. I think I did say 22nd Century. Ay. But anyways, Bing Bong's Sweet Stuff. I believe it was initially supposed to be called Bing Bong's Confectionery or something like that. But it has opened up in Pixar Pier. I have not really looked into it at all because I don't really care much for the shops in Pixar Pier, but I just felt like you guys would want to know that. So, yeah, that's that for Disney news, and we're going to get into our first actual topic of this podcast. Now, on Saturday, which was yesterday, if you're watching the live stream, or 2 days ago if you're watching on Monday, the new extended queue has been opened for Space Mountain. We talked about this a couple weeks ago of how I believe there were permits filed for to extend the sort of what is it called, the upper level of the Starcade as an extended queue for Space Mountain, an extended indoor queue, I should point out. Yeah, so that opened up on Saturday. It looks, Alex and I were talking about it earlier, it looks kind of bland, but according to @Haston on Twitter, he tweets a lot of Disney stuff. He's quote, "The story here is a new," I cannot pronounce this word for the life of me, our Asterius project that is a deep space probe that explores beyond our galaxy. So I guess that's what this big probe looking thing is. But yeah, Alex, what are your thoughts on the new extended queue for Space Mountain?
It's okay. It reminds me a little bit of like Magic Kingdom-ish, but I mean, you know, because of it kind of looks a little bit boring, like like just an empty building, like you know, that in that way reminds me of the Magic Kingdom. But it's nice, I guess, and it does its purpose. I mean, you know, you're in there and you're in the air conditioning and shaded from the sun and all that, and so it's okay. And it makes good use of a space that wasn't being utilized before. So
yeah, I am sad that these images are just sort of like just pictures. It would have been cool if they added that effect from the Magic Kingdom queue where it's like you walk by and it looks like you're actually looking at like a real star field outside. But yeah, these are just like static images pasted onto the screens. And yeah, someone said in the chat that this does look very dated. Of course, this was built way back in the day. I don't know the date that this area opened. I'm guessing the 60s, maybe 70s, but yeah, this area, like Alex said, it is making good use of an area that wasn't being used before. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, we do have a video from LMG Vids of the actual queue itself, and he said that he would not copyright strike me if I did use any of his videos on the live stream or in any of my videos. So props to LMG Vids for saying he wouldn't copyright strike me. But I'm just gonna go ahead and skip through a little bit. I don't want to show the entire thing. But yeah, so very bland. Someone said in chat that they're surprised that it's so bright inside, but I mean, it works for what it is. Yeah, it's just really just a lot of static stuff, but video gets taken down. Yeah, so that's that. Not really much else to look at besides these pictures of just like nebulas and galaxies and stuff. And of course the lovely vinyl pictures up on the wall of just random space planets and stuff. Yeah, it is better than standing outside in the heat. And I don't remember if you guys remember us talking about the supposed rumor of Disney moving the Astro Blasters to the top of, or like the right in front of Space Mountain. Do you guys remember us talking about that? This sort of almost makes those rumors seem even more true. I don't even think you guys remember. I don't even think we talked about this. I'm pretty sure we talked about how there were rumors of moving the moving the not the Astro Blasters. What am I thinking of? Moving the rocket jets, whatever they're called. It's very tired right now, if you guys couldn't tell. Astro Orbiter. That is what we're talking about. I said Astro Blasters. They have the same first part of the name, but
I know you totally confused me when you said that.
Aye. But yeah, there were rumors of moving the Astro Orbiter to the sort of platform space right above the Captain EO Theater. And then Mateo says that rumor was thought up by someone joking around. If it was, then I wasn't really a fan of the rumor anyways, but if it was an actual rumor that might end up coming true, then this sort of confirms it almost. I don't know what the right words are to use, because before I'm also not 100% sure if they still have the queue outside standing on that platform. I don't know if they moved it completely inside. Mateo says it was fresh baked. Yeah, it was fresh baked that that I got that information from. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they still do the outdoor queue standing on the platform. I'm sure some of you guys can correct me if they are or if they aren't. But so that this new indoor queue almost sort of confirms that rumor, but kind of not confirm the rumor. I just wanted to bring that up in case some of you guys forgot about that. But yeah. Alex, any last thoughts on the new Space Mountain queue?
I wish there could have been more done. Like, instead of like posters behind glass, like I kind of hope that they would do like some kind of like video screen of like live space or something.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I don't know what I expected really. It's just that you're supposed to be in a space station, and you don't feel that way when you're in the queue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I like that they put that model, that satellite kind of thing that dangles from the ceiling. I like that. But I just wish they could have done more with it, and the color scheme that they chose for the place and all that. Like, it's just a little bit too bland in my opinion. But I mean, then again, how much money do you really want to spend on a space that doesn't do anything but hold people?
Yeah, that's what I was figuring too. I mean, oh, excuse me. They might have cheaped out on this because they know later down the line they're going to have better extended queue for Space Mountain once they eventually refurb Tomorrowland. That's sort of my thinking as to why it looks so bland. But apparently there's 2 ball baggers in the chat. So there's that. I told you guys this would be an interesting live stream. And there's also 21 people watching, apparently. It says 19 for me, but Sam says 21 people. So thank you to everyone who's watching currently. But yeah, so that's sort of my thought process as to why it looks so bland. Again, that could just be me wishful thinking, I guess is the right words. But hopefully in the future, we always say this, hopefully in the future they end up refurbing Tomorrowland. In the near future, I should say. Sam says now it's 22. It shows 21 on mine now, but thank you all. But yeah, moving on to our last bit of topics that we have. Vetter changed his name to Walt Disney. That's what I'm seeing. Anyways, moving on to our last topic that we have here. A Bug's Land at Disneyland, California, or Disney California Adventure, is set to be exterminated September 4th. You guys like that? I definitely didn't steal that from another newspaper headline. I said Disneyland. I almost said Disneyland Bug's Land. I don't know what I'm thinking. Ay. But yeah, A Bug's Land at California Adventure is officially going to be closing September 4th to make way for the new Marvel Land that we talked about last week, whether or not those rumors are true or not. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever been to A Bug's Land. It's really not that good. I walked through it when I was in the park. I rode Heimlich's Choo Choo Train, which was amazing. I think someone at the meetup predicted that Heimlich's Choo Choo Train was gonna have a 3-hour wait on the day that it closes. Oh, and someone else said that they were gonna ride every attraction in A Bug's Land 17 times for the 17 years that it's been open. I can't remember who said that. I think he's in the chat. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. But I thought that was the funniest thing. Riding each attraction 17 times. It might not have even been 17 times. It was some odd number like that. But 17 times for the 17 years that it's been open. That just made me laugh a lot. But yeah, Bugs Land. I'm very happy that Bugs Land is closing, making way for Marvel Land. Alex, what are your thoughts on A Bug's Land? And what are your thoughts on A Bug's Land closing?
I'm excited to see Bugs Land go. I mean, after they closed It's Tough to Be a Bug, it just became a really sad place. And so I'm excited to see it go, and I'm excited to see them build something completely new with the area. So it's not so much a bittersweet goodbye as it is just a sweet goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, not really a fan of A Bug's Land. It's really hard for me to say words right now. I don't know why. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead.
It's all the Snapple you're drinking.
It's probably, I do have an extra right here just to refill in case I run out, which I probably am gonna run out. But I am gonna quote from the Los Angeles Times. Quote, "We continually push the boundaries of creativity and innovation to deliver the best guest experience, and we are looking for ways to take what we do and make it even better," park spokesman Liz Jager said. Unquote, after "make it even better." That was the end of the quote. But so yeah, Bugs Land is gonna get exterminated. Bugs Land is getting squished. Everybody in the chat is going crazy for some reason. Is this what it's like to have 1 billion people on your live stream? Oh my gosh. So yeah, official Bugs Land. I don't really have that much to say, but I have a feeling this is going to be a short podcast, you guys. I just have a feeling, but I don't really have that much to say about A Bug's Land closing. The only thing left to say is that it's closing September 4th, even though I already said that. Yeah. Alex, do you have any closing thoughts on A Bug's Land closing?
You already asked me. I'm just kidding. No.
All right. Like I said, this is going to be a short stream, you guys. I'm trying to read through this article to see if there's anything else that we can quote. Well, they do say that Marvel Land is set to open in 2020, which is only 2 years away. That's not a lot of time to build an immersive Marvel-themed land, but Michael Eisner is here, Robert Iger is here, Walt Disney is here in chat. Wow, I feel so popular. Thank you all for coming to our live stream. Hey Matt, want me to add a DuckTales IP to Grizzly Peak? I've never seen DuckTales. Not the original or the new one. I've seen one episode of the new one.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen it, Alex? Is it any good?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, it was good.
Oh. Well, I haven't seen any of them. I'm not really a fan of those kinds of. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about. I completely forgot. I need to get this link up for you guys. Did you all know that they're making a live-action reboot of Kim Possible? Let's see. I have this picture, I think, saved. Oh my gosh. Disney Kim Possible live-action movie. Oh, excuse me. I keep hiccuping. Here we go. Kim Possible. See the first photo of Disney's live-action movie. Let me open this image. Here we go. So there's that. I thought they were joking when they announced this. I remember reading about this a couple months ago. I'm trying to find the name of the girl that plays her. Let's see. Actress Sadie Stanley will give new life to the red-headed hero in a Disney Channel original movie premiering in 2019, written by Mick Corkle. I don't know. What is happening? This has to be a joke. Listen to this other name. Schooley. Schooley. McCorkle, Schooley, and Josh Kagan. Though that's a normal name. But the first look, this is the new Kim Possible, you guys. I hope you're ready for your childhood to be ruined. Yeah, they're not even the same pants. I don't know why they're doing this. When was the last time Kim Possible aired? It doesn't say in this article, but the movie is set to premiere in 2019. So join Stanley in the cast, Sean Giabrone as Kim's best friend / sidekick Ron Stoppable, Isaac Ryan Brown as tech genius Wade, Todd Stashwick and Taylor Ortega as Kim's nemesises Dr. Draken and Shigo, and Allison Hannigan as Kim's mother. I don't get what Disney's obsession with reboots is. Yeah, because they're rebooting, what is it, Freaky Friday. I saw a trailer for that a couple weeks ago, for the new Freaky Friday movie that they're rebooting. Did you guys know they're rebooting Freaky Friday? And now Kim Possible. Yeah, I don't know why this popped into my head. Someone said Kim in the chat. They were talking about Kim Jong-un, who was here earlier for some reason. And it just kind of sparked my memory. Oh, they're making a live-action Kim Possible movie. Anyways, I think that's gonna wrap this up, unless I think of something else to talk about. Do we have any ghost stories this week? Oh wait, someone has a ghost story. Someone texted me a ghost story, or emailed me a ghost story. I am not prepared for this live stream, guys. I'm so sorry for those of you watching.
I also sent you Mateo's ghost story.
I think that was the one. Let me
emailed it to you.
Let me switch to my other email really quick. There is one from Bryce who sent another ghost story. Here is Mateo's ghost story. I'm trying to see if we read this already. I don't think we read this. All right, so it looks like we have 2 ghost stories that we can read for you guys this week. Let me get this all prepared. Matt, show off your favorite signs if you need to stretch out this podcast. I've been in the waiting room for over an hour. We don't use the waiting room anymore. I'm sure you guys who were here, was it last week or the week before that we used the waiting room, and it was a complete disaster. Those of you guys that were there, you'll know why we don't use the waiting room anymore. We have to implement some kind of rules for the waiting room. We'll figure it out later, someday that's not today, but I promise you guys the waiting room will be back soon, and you guys will get to come on the show and give your thoughts on anything that we talk about. But let's see, I do have a ghost story from Mateo, who is in chat right here, who is also at the meetup. Thank you for coming, Mateo. And we're gonna go ahead and read your ghost story. This is a long one. I better get ready for this.
Drink some Snapple.
Yeah, I'll drink some Snapple to clear my throat. Avery just sent one on the Discord. All right, let's see. I'll figure out which ones I'll read it after this one. All right, Mateo has a ghost story. We're gonna read it right now. It's long because it's legit, says Mateo. That's good to know. All right. This is going to sound... Okay, this is the start of the story. This is going to sound really dramatic, but honestly, it was really dramatic. We lived in our house for a long time now, and over that time I've had some weird experiences, and one of them affected the whole family. At first, the house was kind of weird at night, but I thought it was just the noises of a new place, settling and all. After a few months, things started to get kind of abnormal. Every night, something would happen. Sometimes I could somehow sense someone standing at my bed, and often I could hear them breathing. I looked once, and of course, nobody was there. Other nights I could hear what sounded like one or more big dogs walking in the house. I could hear their claws scraping the floor, and their characteristic growling breath of a large canine. We had never had a dog, and there has never been any way for one to get in. I'm going to turn on the light because I'm actually getting kind of spooked right now. Okay. Those were the only things that happened at first. But as time went on, something moved into the attic. Many nights I could distinctly hear heavy footsteps of an adult man above my room. Usually the noises stopped after a few footfalls, but sometimes they went on for a while, moving around the space and scaring the heck out of me. Light off, everybody says. Okay. There was no way for it to be an animal because it was definitely human footsteps, and yet there was no way it was a human because the room is all beams and no floor. Anyone who managed to wiggle between the rafters would end up crashing right through my bedroom ceiling. It was all so terrifying that I would even poke my nose out from under the covers. That I wouldn't even poke my nose out from under the covers, much less get up and walk around. All this only happened to me, and it went on for about 3 years. Then, just as the creepy stuff started going away, it happened. It was just a normal night. Me and my family and I were all asleep. Then around 3 in the morning, we were all wide awake and petrified with terror. Even my dad was up, and he's a heavy sleeper. We all gathered in my parents' room and huddled together. We could all feel something in the house, but without a good reason. My dad looked through the whole place, even the backyard, but there was nothing there. Even though we couldn't see anything, we could feel it. It was like some invisible thing was wandering around our house, looking in all the corners. A long time later, we were still sitting there, and we could still feel the presence, for lack of a better word. It was still there, and we could sense it was getting closer. Then it came in the room. Still nothing to see, but it was there. But it was in there with us. It came closer and closer until we could feel it literally right at the foot of the bed. Whatever it was just standing over us, and then, without any warning, it was gone. We were still scared, of course, but it was just residual. Residual? The thing
Residual.
That word.
Residual.
Residual. We were still scared, of course, but it was just residual. The thing, whatever it was, had left. Since then, nothing scary has really happened. Sometimes I feel a little weird, but I think it's just leftover jitters. It sounds like some sort of creepypasta from a poor quality YouTube, but it really happened. So that's my ghost story. That, I had to turn my light on, and then you guys yelled at me to turn it back off. Holy cow. That was actually a really creepy story. Thank you, Mateo. Let's see. Avery sent another story for us. But yeah, thank you, Mateo. For some reason, I can't read right now, so I'm very sorry if I butchered that. I'm sure I did butcher that. I'm very sorry, but just reading that actually gave me chills down my spine. Yeah, thank you, Mateo. Let's see. Let's see. Avery sent, I believe, 2 ghost stories, and Tay is currently typing something to me. This is the story of a man named John. Why John? Because okay. I don't know if Tay is still typing, but I'm gonna go ahead and read one of Avery's ghost stories now. Again, thank you, Mateo. That was, I'd poop my pants. I say this every week. Oh, it's one story, says Avery. Okay. I'd definitely poop my pants if that happened to me. So I'm kind of glad that hasn't happened to me, but let's see. Let's get to Avery's 1 ghost story, not 2 ghost stories. One Friday afternoon, my family and I were visiting the haunted mansion. We were waiting in line to get in the doom buggy. Oh wait, I think we already told this one, didn't we? We might not have.
Sounds familiar.
Let me just skim through it really quick.
This is the sound of Matt skimming.
Yeah, we read this one. I think we read this one a couple weeks ago, Avery. The bottom one. The bottom one is new. Oh, okay. I assumed. Okay. Oh, okay. This first message is from 714. This is the new. I'm very tired, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. Here's Avery's second story. I was at Disney with my aunt, my second to last trip, when something a little odd happened on the dinosaur ride in the Animal Kingdom. I got on, I was in the second seat from the left, and an old man sat next to me. Pretty nondescript old guy, nothing fancy about his clothes, had gray hair and a short beard, and was wearing a ball cap, which he didn't take off. What was weird was from the get-go is throughout the whole ride he did not react to anything. Dinosaur is a pretty shaky, loud ride, and usually, you know, there's laughing and shouting and reactions to stuff. This guy hung on, but kept on the same bland look on his face the entire time. He didn't react, smile, or anything. Okay, maybe just a weird old man. When we got off the ride, I went to check the ride photos they snap of you partway through the ride, and when ours came up, it looked like the old man had no eyes. He did not have sunglasses on during the ride, or even normal glasses, and there was nothing wrong with his eyes when he got on. But in the photo, there was nothing but black around his eyes, around where his eyes should have been. Also, he was looking straight ahead at the photo, not at the dinosaur/camera, and again, bland expression. My aunt saw the photo too, and agreed it was way weird and way spooky. I need to tell these stories with my lights on, or I'm gonna poop my pants. Actually, oh my gosh.
I am laughing at what Mateo wrote.
Let's see, what did he say? When stutters fill the podcast stream and strange and awful pronunciations echo in the mic. Oh my, that's going in the Hall of Fame. Thank you, Mateo. Thank you. I cannot speak right now for the life of me, but this is going in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, thank you, Mateo, for brightening the mood. Ay. All right. Thank you to everyone
I don't have
listening.
a ghost story, but I do have ghost experience.
Ooh, please do tell, Alex, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, everyone get ready, because I live in a haunted apartment. So this apartment is from the 1950s. I believe the early 1950s is when the townhome was built. It's a 3-bedroom, two-floor townhome. And actually, I've seen old pictures of my city, and it's one of the only buildings standing when you look at an old picture from the 50s down this whole street. It's like one of the only buildings that were standing. Everything else was farmland. So this is a pretty old house. And ever since I moved in back in 2008, so I've been here for 10 years, strange stuff happens. And I don't have any particular like long story to tell you, because everything is so brief and so glimpsing that it's not really much of a story. But I can tell you some of the stuff that happens around here. So when I was in high school, when I first moved into this townhome, one of the weird things that happened was I was bringing my friend over, and I was trying to unlock the door so I can get in the house, and as I turned the lock, all of a sudden the lock pushed back and turned back to locked, and it kept doing this over and over, and I kept trying to unlock the door, but it wouldn't. It was like someone was pushing against it, and I thought my sister was on the other side of the door trying to like keep the door locked, you know, trying to, you know, be funny or something. And so I remember just going, like, telling my sister, like, Nikki, let me in the house. Oh my God, you know, and and then finally, after like a good 2 minutes of just fighting with the door, I got the door open, and my friend and I came in, and the living room is empty, kitchen's empty, dining room's empty. So I go upstairs, look for my sister to, you know, chew her out for keeping me outside for so long. But she was not home. Nobody was home. And the house was completely empty. And I came back downstairs, and my friend was standing outside, and I said, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "Oh my God, like this was really creepy, but I thought I saw someone standing in the kitchen, and it was not your family." And I was like, "What?" And so I went to the kitchen, and I looked around, or went to the downstairs bathroom, looked around, there was nobody there. And she's just like, he was in all black clothes, and he was not anybody I knew. And I was like, oh my God. So that was really creepy. But other things that happen around the house are like we turn on like a light at nighttime so we can see, and then the light will turn back off. Or another weird thing is like when we go to bed at night, like I lock the door, the front door, and before I can get upstairs, the front door will unlock. And then there's like weird things like for instance, after my dad moved out and after my sister moved out, this became my apartment, and then my friends moved in and stuff like that. And my friend Brian, who's been here for several years now, when he first moved in, like he does not believe in ghosts. He's just completely doesn't believe in spirits or anything like that. And he was in his room, and which back when I was in high school used to be my room. And when he was in his room, he was looking around and he felt like he wasn't alone. That's when he saw something in the corner of his eye kind of capture his interest, and he looked really quickly, and he could swear he saw a black figure standing in his closet. And it freaked him out enough for him to walk out of the room and just kind of like take a moment to to think about what he had just seen. He couldn't believe it. And he chalked it up to maybe he just saw something and it wasn't really real. Like he just imagined it or something, because he just really doesn't believe in ghosts. But still, to this day, stuff keeps happening to convince him otherwise. So, like, for instance, one night he came home from work and he was walking up the stairs and he heard laughter, like in his ear, like someone just laughing at him. And he was really creeped out by it. It sounded like someone was right next to him, and he told me the next day about that, and that was pretty creepy. But I think one of the most recent things that happened to me was actually I came home. This was like maybe 2 months ago. I came home and the house was a mess. Like someone had broken in. And like stuff was strewn everywhere. And then like my blanket, which I keep on the couch, because sometimes I take a nap on the couch, my blanket was rolled up in a ball and thrown outside. And I thought about it, like maybe like someone came in the house, but nothing was stolen. Nothing was, I mean, none of like, I have a lot of like stuff that you could just grab and take with you if you were trying to break in, like my TV, my DVD player, my computer's down here. Like I have lots of stuff. Like I have like artifacts and things like that from my travels and stuff like that. So I have lots of stuff that people could have like stolen. And even there was my husband's cell phone was on the kitchen table. That wasn't taken. So nothing was stolen, and there was no way anybody came in the house, because my back fence is so rotten and termite eaten that if someone tried to climb over it, they'd break the fence. The boards would fall out, because the boards fall out even with the wind. And so there's no way anybody got in through my backyard. My back door was locked. Of course, when I came home, it was open. And I don't know. It was really weird. There's no way somebody could have come in the house. And I asked my different roommates, like, what happened? Like, do you know, like, what happened? And they were like, no, like, no idea. And so that kind of stuff happens. And of course, there's always that feeling that you're never really alone when you're in this house. Like, you always feel like there's someone there with you. I don't think there's anything like malevolent here, but it is certainly mischievous. So like stuff does happen. Like I said, like you could go upstairs and turn on the hall light, and you're going upstairs at night, and then all of a sudden the hall light turns off, and before you could turn it off. And it's like really strange. Like, how does that happen? Like, how does a light switch actually go to the off position by itself, and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else in particular that happened, but there's a lot of stuff. Like, I can't even mention all of it in in one episode. But yeah, my apartment is haunted, and for the past 10 years that I lived here, lots of really weird stuff happens and still keeps happening.
Jeez, like I said, poop my pants. Holy cow. Thank you, Alex, for sharing those stories. Oh my gosh, you guys have the best ghost stories, and I'm over here, I don't have anything to tell.
So last week, my roommate Barry was trying to get in the house, and he experienced the exact same thing I experienced in high school. He tried to turn the key in the lock, and the lock fought him as he was trying to do it. He could not open it. He thought someone was trying to keep the door shut, but there was nobody in the house. Yeah.
I would just burn down the house at that point. I wouldn't have anything to do with that house. Oh my gosh. Bryce is saying someday, Matt, someday. Like
maybe someday I'll let you burn it down from.
Oh my gosh. I mentioned like when we first started saying these ghost stories that I wish like stuff like that happened to me, but then hearing like all these spooky ones like Mateo's and then Alex's kind of giving me like second thoughts, like, oh wait, I don't want this to happen to me. I don't want to be spooked so bad that I poop my pants. Do you guys know what I mean? Thank you, Alex, for sharing your spooky stories. Thank you to everyone who shared their spooky stories. We'll get to the ones that we didn't read this week next week, so if you do have any spooky stories that you'd like to send us, you can email them to me. My email is ytmatterhornmatt@gmail.com. You can send them to me on the Discord. You can send them to me on Twitter, Facebook, whatever you guys like your preferred social media. I guess email would be the most preferred way since they're all just in my email waiting to be opened. But Jeremy's here. He's late. That's okay. Better late than never. But Bryce says he's gonna love my small ghost story. Be sure to send it to me, Bryce, so we don't forget. But let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to Words with Walt. I didn't have enough time to pick a quote this week, but Alex was so gracious to pick one for us this week. So let's go ahead and get into the quote. Our greatest natural resource is the minds of our children. Walt Disney, of course. Alex, why did you pick this quote in particular?
Oh, sure. Ask me. Well, I chose this quote because, well, for one thing, I really believe it's true. And another thing is that it shows how Walt Disney really believed in people and really believed in children as our future and stuff like that, because that's the truth of it. I mean, despite what we say about what we want our society to be and what we want our future to be, the future really is in the minds and hearts of our children. So so we have to nurture, take care of, educate our children, so that way when it comes time for them to make decisions when it comes to our society, our livelihoods, things like that, that they're ready to make those decisions. So that's what I love about Walt Disney, was he recognizes that. Like, he recognized the fact that children mean a lot to people, and people patronize children. They treat children as inferiors, and they do all kinds of stuff to say that children are just dumb or whatever. But it's like, if you don't care about children, if you don't educate them, and you don't try to make their lives better, how can they grow up to be good adults? So in any case, that's why I chose this quote, and it's truly one of the treasures that I have.
Gosh, Walt has the greatest quotes out there. Our greatest natural resource is the minds of our children. I guess if you think about it, children are our future. I'm trying not to repeat what Alex said, but if you don't, I just want to point out, I am subscribed to this subreddit. I can't remember what it's called. It's of like kids doing dumb things. So I do find that some kids are just like really dumb. I guess that's like true with everything. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm really tired, but just ignore everything I'm saying. But our greatest natural resource is the minds of our children. This is like actually I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna butcher this any more than I already have. Anyways, yeah, I'm not gonna butcher this any more than I already have. But
just say it's a good quote. Goodbye, everybody.
This is a great quote by Walt Disney, my personal hero, who I wish I will be able to meet one day, but probably not gonna happen. But anyways, thank you, Alex, for picking this quote. Next week I'll definitely pick a quote. For sure, yeah. Someone said if we can always do the streams on Sundays. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see if we can do the streams on Sundays. I'm not sure. I know Saturday is a good day for both Alex and I, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, that's it for Matterhorn Mondays, I believe. Alex, do you have any closing thoughts on anything we talked about today?
Yes. Drink more Snapple.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys see the pictures I took of the Snapple bottle in front of the Incredicoaster? I posted on Twitter and on Instagram. I added Snapple. I said, give me Snapple, please sponsor me, or something like that. It's probably a dumb thing to do, but I thought it was funny. And the pictures were cool. But yeah. I don't think I have any closing thoughts on anything that we talked about. We didn't talk about Bing Bong's sweet stuff. No, I guess I should say I want to talk about a little bit about my experience in Pixar Pier, like in person. Call it Matterhorn Sunday. I guess I should say I did get to visit Pixar Pier when I was in the parks. It was everything I expected it to be. The Incredicoaster was everything I expected it to be. I asked my dad what he thought. I asked him if he thought it was better than California Screamin', and he said it was better. But I argued it was just, I don't remember what I said. It was something like it was just as fun. Well, one of the main things I said in one of my vlogs that's going to be coming out is that you can't really pay attention to any of the show scenes because you're busy screaming your head off because you're on a roller coaster. That's why it was called California Screamin', because you scream. But yeah, I didn't really pay any attention to the little show scenes that were happening with like the Incredibles family chasing after Jack Jack. The only one I really got to pay attention to was the first one, where it's like Edna is like initially loses Jack Jack, but after that, I think the greatest added effect to the Incredicoaster is Dash like running along the side of the launch of the coaster, and it has like the water shooting up and like his foot sound effects running along. That's like the only good thing I like about the Incredicoaster. But I can confirm that the cookie scene does smell like cookies. It doesn't smell like cookies, but it smells like they tried to make it smell like cookies. But it's not like
whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means. You guys know the drill. Just ignore everything I'm saying. But I did eat one of those huge cookies, the Num Num cookies. That was amazing. One of the greatest cookies I've ever eaten. But it was like really sugary. Is the cookie good enough to come out of another dimension for? It is. It really is. It was an amazing cookie. And it was really warm too. So like the chocolate was like melted already, and the dough was all like soft and like doughy, I guess. It was a good cookie. But the one thing I should say about Pixar Pier, it is better at night. I didn't get to ride the Incredicoaster at night, but yeah, Disney gets the There Was an Attempt award. Yes. I mentioned this when we first reviewed Pixar Pier. I do love the way Pixar Pier looks with like the colors, the blues and the reds, and some of the yellows, or I guess like lighter yellows. I don't know what the color is. They do mesh really well together during the day and at night as well, with all the little popcorn lights that they have. It really is beautiful at night. I took some awesome shots of Pixar Pier. If you haven't seen those, follow me on Instagram at Matterhorn.Matt if you guys aren't following me on Instagram. But it's better at night because you can't see all the flaws. They didn't light up. Alex, you should have just said that right here. You didn't have to type it.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You were going and you were doing so well. You were making full sentences.
Oh my gosh. Well, it is better at night because you can't see it. Yeah, that is very true. There's still the things that we talked about, how how Disney charged like $300 to go into an unfinished land because of course Bing Bong's whatever wasn't open until just the other day. The Inside Out ride isn't open yet. The Jesse's Critter Carousel isn't open yet. So it's like I almost just wrote said Mateo's comment, but it's an unfinished land, and they thought charging $300 to get in the opening day or the day before, whatever, was a good idea. I thought that was kind of scummy from Disney, but yeah, that's my overall thoughts on Pixar Pier. I'm sure I missed a lot of points, but Incredicoaster is fine. It's not better than California Screamin'. The only positive thing besides the besides the Dash water scene is the queue music with the Incredibles score playing all throughout the queue and on the attraction itself. I thought that was really neat because I do love me some Incredibles music, but they really should have torn down the whole thing and just made something completely new. But anyways, those are my thoughts on Pixar Pier. How badly do you miss Disneyland now that you're back? Very badly. Badly enough that I might end up going back in December to see Disneyland during Christmas, because I've never been during Christmas. I was debating either Christmas or Halloween, and my friend told me Christmas was better. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to scrape up the cash needed to visit the parks during Christmas time. I'll update you guys on that as I get more information on all of that. But
it is beautiful during Christmas. That's my favorite time to visit Disneyland.
Oh yeah, I was debating between Halloween, because last Halloween was really in California Adventure especially. Last Halloween looked really neat with the Headless Horseman in DCA and all that jazz. But Christmas won over Halloween time. But yeah, I'll update you guys on all that. Yeah, I'll be visiting. I won't be working. But yeah, Small World, yeah, Snow Castle, Haunted Mansion Holiday. I'm very excited. We'll see how it goes. I am going to make a video of the meetup, Andrew. It'll be in one of my vlogs. But that's gonna wrap up this episode of Matterhorn Mondays. We hope you all enjoyed. If you have any thoughts on any of the topics we discussed, be sure to comment them down below. I kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts on the James Gunn stuff. We didn't talk about it specifically in this episode, but I want to know what you guys think, just because he was one of my favorite directors in the Marvel franchise, and it's really sad for me to see him go. But again, it kind of is understandable why he got let go. But yeah. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed this episode, and as always, have a great big beautiful tomorrow.